Field just south of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world.
So that'll back him up 5.
Hey, tighten down.
On second down, here's Allen. Incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Allen going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Finding room at the 30. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Jalen Ferguson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Jones on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 48-yard line.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Bills' 45-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Watch twist. Watch twist.
On 2nd down, it's Hill. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Hey, I'm coming. 36.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On 2nd down, Hill. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Let's go. 6 yards. Check 53. Watch the screen.
Jackson, option right. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they're able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 38-yard line.
This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's caught. Jones. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 30.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Beasley signed with the Bills in March just before his 30th birthday after 7 years with the Cowboys, hoping that he can be a very valuable slot receiver in Buffalo. Just under 700 yards last year and 3 touchdowns in Dallas. They go with a screen to Gore. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Allen now on the sneak, and he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Hauschka adds the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
The Ravens take over first.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And this defense, Charles, bottom half of the league against the run. That's not going to help their average.
Not at all. When you're getting ready to play against them, in your scouting report, you're actually counting on a certain number of big-time runs against them. They've given them up all year.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a first down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Allen. This will be caught by Brown. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
40 yards. Here we go.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They start the drive on the ground with Hill. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Maurice Alexander making the stop defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
He was brought down by Matt Milano. 2 yards on the pickup.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Hey,
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Throwing on first down is Allen. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And the grab by Croft. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 44-yard line. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Allen. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing is Allen on third. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Boom, boom. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. 3 bucks.
To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Second and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Jackson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Squeeze, double.
They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 50 yards on the ground.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Here's Allen to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks. The speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Allen going to get this one to Singletary. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Pick me up. Here we go. Hey, F-O. Check 24. 53's the mic. 53. Check. Let's go.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
53's the mic. 53, Mike 53. Big stop.
On third down, Jackson. That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Mike's 40. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
Now Allen on third down. He'll let it go deep for Foster. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Robert Foster, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Jackson, option right. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, D.
Again they run, again it's Gore. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, you don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Let's go.
Allen to throw on third down. And that's caught by Beasley. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On first down, they stick with Singletary. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On play action, Allen looking in zone for Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
Exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. A handoff. It's Mark Ingram. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson being chased out left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Jackson, option right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
At their own 15-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
56.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Patrick Owasor in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Allen going to go on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen, and avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Bills on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he finds Beasley complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Check 319. Check 48. The mic. Go. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Allen now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Here's Allen. He's going to let it fly. And it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure whatever the reason. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
1st down, and they're going to throw it Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Allen. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. He was looking for Devin Singletary there, but it's going to be second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Tight left. Even. 4 down. Even.
Alert! Return!
Throwing again. Allen. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Round 80!
Talking about.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo,